Good morning, everybody. I'm Jane Sandford, growth mindset and spiritual empowerment coach. So, what the heck is spiritual empowerment, I hear you ask? When I say spiritual empowerment, I'm not pointing you towards any ancient scriptures or spiritual practice. What I'm talking about is something that's already a part of you, your spirit. Imagine your spirit as a bit like Wi-Fi. It's invisible, but it's got the power to connect you to what you love and to what makes you feel alive. What if I told you that the same stuff that's swirling around in the stars is the same stuff that fires up your inner spark? Scientists call it quantum physics, but we could call it the science of you. We're about to explore how getting in touch with this inner spark can be as easy and as exciting as the things you loved doing when you were a kid. So let's get into the quantum of it all. Quantum physics, in plain old English, is the study of the really, really small stuff that makes up everything. And I'm talking about the bits so tiny that they don't even play by the usual rules. Now, these tiny bits of matter show us something fascinating. They exist in a world of potential where anything goes. They can be here, there, or anywhere, all at the same time. And it's only when someone looks that they decide where they want to be. But here's the cool part. This is a bit like our spirit. Our spirit isn't just one thing, it's a mix of our thoughts, feelings, and potential. It's not tied down, it's free to be whatever it wants, just like those quantum particles. And there's something else. When quantum particles become entangled, they're like best friends that no matter how far apart they are, they still know what the other's up to. Just like when you just know your friend is going to call just before the phone rings. It's the same with us. We're all connected, not just with each other, but with the universe. And that connection, that's the essence of our spirit. The invisible ties that link us to every living thing and the universe itself. It's like the whole cosmos is a giant web, and we're part of it, feeling the vibrations from every strand. If these tiny particles are the foundation of the universe, and they're this magical and connected, what does that say about the power of your spirit? So how do we even start to find this mysterious spirit of ours? Your spirit is like your personal playlist. It's got all the tunes that make you, you. And just like a playlist, sometimes it's shaped by the hits of our childhood. What lit up your world when you were a little one? Those times when you were so immersed in play that your mum's call for tea went unheard. That's the spirit we're looking for. For me, it was simple joys. I played post office, with parcels of imagination going worldwide. I turned my Enid Blyton books into a mini library complete with cards and a date stamp. And then there were walks in the country with my dad. Each journey was the destination, and every new path was an adventure, and I always had to run to keep up with his stride. And of course I loved animals. Caring for something fluffy or four-legged taught me compassion that stuck. Now fast forward to the present day. The post office dream had a bit of a twist. I did once have a job as a sub-postmistress in a tiny village, but I got myself a real-life heist experience. But, it's all part of the journey. And I may not have my little library with the date stamp anymore, but I've got shelves at home that are a bibliophile's dream. And those walks, they're my reset button, nature's way of refreshing my spirit. And my love for animals has grown with me. I aligned my life choices with that childhood compassion and became vegan. So what I'm getting at is this. Those things we adored as kids are clues to our true spirit. They're the you before the world told you who to be. So just take a moment, think about your then and now. How does your childhood spirit show up in your grown-up life? And how do you keep that spirit alive and kicking? Embracing your spirit is not a one-off event. And it doesn't need grand gestures. It's the small, everyday things that count. It's about making space for those childhood passions in your grown-up world, like doodling in the margins of your meeting notes. So let's talk about alignment. That sweet spot where your actions and your spirit hold hands like best friends. It's about making choices that resonate with that inner part of you, the part that knew who you were before the world started telling you who you should be. And we do this by being authentic. For instance, I started off in here as a mind management coach talking about corporate mental health training, and you could probably see that it didn't really light me up. I'm a bit woo, and it was time to come out. And being authentic is about being unapologetically you, whether that's laughing until you snort or pee yourself, or wearing that outrageous shirt that makes you feel like a rock star. So take a moment each day to check in with yourself. Not the you that has to pay bills or hit deadlines, but the you that marvels at a sunset or gets lost in a good book. Ask yourself, am I nurturing my spirit? Am I allowing myself to be who I truly am? And then take action, because knowing is only half the battle. Integrate those passions into your routine. If you love to draw, carry a sketchbook around with you. If you adored the outdoors, have your lunch in the park. Spiritual empowerment is all about honouring your spirit in the day-to-day hustle, keeping that childhood wonder alive, no matter how many candles are on your birthday cake. And when your spirit's the compass, you're never off course, because it's the truest part of you. It's your North Star in a sky full of options. And remember, it's perfectly okay for your spirit to evolve. Just like we update our playlist with new tunes, our spirit can move to different rhythms as we grow. And what doesn't change, though, is that core, that essence that makes you, you. So I'm going to share now how this spirit-led life isn't just a solo journey, but one where we lift each other up, where your spirit's tune gets others dancing to their own beat. And that's empowerment on a whole new level. Have you ever noticed how your personal vibe affects the room? When you walk in, tuned into your spirit, it's like you're a walking festival of lights. People can't help but respond to that energy. That's the ripple effect of living a spirit-empowered life. You become someone who lights the spark in others to find their spirit, their passion, their true self. And this isn't just feel-good chatter, it's quantum reality. Remember those entangled particles? When we lift our vibrations by being true to ourselves, we're inviting others to raise theirs too. Your empowerment becomes a collective crescendo, inspiring those around you to tune into their own frequencies. When we help others by simply being our authentic selves, we get a boost too. You're creating a cycle of positive vibes, a spiritual ecosystem where everyone thrives. And in this space, empowerment isn't a solo act. It's a choir, a symphony, a collective harmony that resonates through each of us. It's the help others to help others, a beautiful ad infinitum loop. So imagine a world where everyone is aligned with their spirit. A world where our choices and actions are reflections of our true selves. And that's a world with less what now and more let's go. Let's remind ourselves that spiritual empowerment is about tapping into that quantum field of endless possibilities. It's about aligning with our spirit, that inner child who knew the joy of play, the power of imagination, and the purity of being. It's not about grand gestures. It's about living authentically, nurturing our passions, and by doing so, empowering not just ourselves, but everyone around us. Because when one of us shines, we light a path for all. And let's help each other make the next chapter the best chapter. Not just for us, but for the whole web of life we're a part of. I'm Jane Sandford. Thanks for listening.